Kiara, what was the feeling like getting a win first up?
Not to sound a bit cliche, but it was pretty amazing, to be honest. We never won on the road, and to win that and come back from the third quarter and play like we did in the fourth, we were pretty stoked.
Where did that burst come from? You did seem...
Let's get you a step forward towards the mic a little. Thanks.
As you mentioned, coming from behind, I guess, where did that spark come from, do you feel?
We went into half-time obviously pretty happy, and then the third quarter we kind of obviously lost our way a little bit, and we just had to go into the fourth quarter going back to structures and then just the normal things you have to do, win one-on-ones, and we spoke about that at three-quarter time and, went back to the basics pretty much.
It was talk post-match that you might have had a fair bit to say as well, trying to G your teammates up. Give us a little insight to that.
Three-quarter time, Trent, he may have mentioned that obviously I'd been out for 30 months, which is a pretty decent time, but he mentioned that, saying there's girls out there that don't get the opportunity to run out on the field, and I was one of them for 2 years, but there's also a bunch of girls back here in Perth that are injured, might not get the opportunity this year, and it definitely sparks a little bit in me to make sure you don't waste the opportunity, but obviously to the other girls as well, so it was a good little rev up at three-quarter time.
So that was inside the rooms, wasn't it, because of the heat?
Yeah. Luckily enough, we got to go in the shade because it was a bit hot.
How do you keep your emotions in check in that scenario and then be able to do what you particularly did in the last quarter, really stand up and do what you did?
I don't know if you saw, but at the end I was pretty emotional. But all the way up until the end, final siren, I kept it in check, just thinking, you know what, I can't stand here crying at three-quarter time. I'm going to go out there and do what I can for the team and everything I could. So there's no point crying then, so I'll save it to the end.
What about when you slotted that goal though? That must have been pretty epic, wasn't it?
It was pretty epic. At the time I was thinking, Jesus God, don't miss it, you're only 20 out. But it's the same thing. You just go, what can I do for the team? I'm 28 here, I've done the lead, I've taken the mark, I just got to kick it now and then get back to the mid and start the clearance again.
Did that surprise you how well you came back from it? I mean, that had to be one of the great comebacks from a knee recon or a couple of knee recons, and particularly in the last quarter, being able to deliver like that? Not to sound like I'm big no to myself, but I know everything that I've done in, I think it's 921 days as of yesterday that I got announced. I know every single training I didn't miss anything, and I did everything I had to do plus the 10%. So I knew if I was going to come back, I was going to come back. Just as a player that sits in the forward line or just does nothing, gets two touches, I knew I was going to come back and be the player that Freo drafted me to be as a marquee player.
Through the rehab, Kiara, why it took so long? You were on the sidelines for a really long time, and no one sort of seemed to know where you were at for a long time as well. Yeah, look, obviously it was my third knee, and it's never going to go smoothly having three ops on the one knee, but I was going pretty smoothly, and then just had a bit of had to have a clean out, and then doing that I'd lost some muscle and had to gain that back, and it didn't come back in time to play last season, but we knew there was no point in rushing me back. I know that I'm going to be a 5-10 year player, so we took the risk to just not play the season and come back this season 100% and ready to go. Trent was he was trying to not hose down expectations, he was just trying to keep a lid on it, I suppose, with you coming back into the side. Do you ever have any doubts about your ability to get back and play at your best?
You know what, it'd be a lie if I said that I never think about it. I mean, you're always going to think about it. You've done it 3 times and had a couple of surgeries on it, so... But I know that if I think about it, then it's going to happen if it's going to happen. But in the meantime, why don't I just go out there and have fun and do everything I can for the team? If I think about it, it's just going to play with your head a little bit.
Did you ever think about giving it away though? It's 900 days. It's a long time to fight back from.
I mean, I could lie here and say I didn't think of it at all, but I thought of it a million times. But then every time I'd come to the training and see the girls, and the support that I had from the physios to the club, to every time I sat down with Wade, our manager, saying we've got you back no matter how long it takes, you've still got a spot here. So how can you throw it away when you've got that many people supporting you?
What do you think when you saw Shay go down and now she's done her ACL? Is that that's the reality of footy, isn't it? And is it even more poignant for you, even more that it can end quickly like that, even for her?
Yeah, I mean, it can happen to any of us, and obviously I know what it feels like. I know how heartbreaking it is. Obviously the reports aren't out, so we're not sure yet. We've still got our fingers crossed that there's no damage there, but it's it's one of those things you just got to take the time that you can now to enjoy it, because you're not sure how long you got until you got another injury or you can't play anymore. So at the time you got to enjoy it as much as you can. And for her, I've got my fingers crossed, because it's not the best thing to go through, but she'll have backing from the club and all the other AFL players. I have no doubt about that.
Well, is the heat playing in your favour, you reckon? Being from Perth, do you reckon that helped, it actually being hot?
Yeah. You know what? It wasn't actually that hot. Like, a lot of commentators and that was saying it. We were actually all right. I'm not sure about the Melbourne girls, but over here it's been pretty hot, so we're pretty good. And probably the wind was more a factor than the heat.
What does a win like that over a team like Melbourne, who's finished third both years, been really close to the grand final, obviously interstate, what does it do for the belief of the group? It's obviously a new group under Trent this year. You weren't sort of sure where you would sit in the pecking order. What does it do for your self-belief as a team?
Yeah, look, to be honest, we have belief in the girls, and the way we want to play footy this year. We know that we're if we play the way we want to play, we'll be up there at the end of the year. It just kind of is good for us to be able to play the way we want to play and see the results come. So we were pretty stoked at the end of the game. We got on the plane pretty happy because we haven't actually won away yet. But as of tomorrow, when we come back to training, we go back and think about Brisbane that we got this weekend, and focuses on that.
The other AFLW captains didn't rate you guys before the start of the season, but do you feel like you are contenders? You genuinely can win it?
Yeah, I always say it's always better to chase people than be chased, because you don't know when they're coming up, and I'm pretty excited for us to come up and show the girls what we've got.
So no better challenge than Brisbane on Sunday, grand finalists?
Yeah, first home game. We're looking forward to seeing a whole bunch of Purple Army come out and get a good crowd down there. We'll make sure that we put on the show, and hopefully a bunch of people come down.
How much upside do you think you have now, having got that first performance out of the way?
It's always better to go in, feeling great than feeling a bit down. So we're up and ready to go, and we've got our WhatsApp group and we're all buzzing about the game, and we're pretty positive and we can't wait to get into it. To be honest, we're pretty wrapped and ready to go.
How many messages have gone in that WhatsApp group in the last?
A lot of media fines, so this will be one of them. Quite a bit, but they're all positive.
And you think your role will change much over the coming weeks as you get more comfortable with, running out games and that sort of stuff? Or?
You know what, I'm pretty confident now. Wherever Trent puts me, I'll put 100%, same as any other girl. If I've got a role to tag someone and I get 0 possessions, as long as my player gets 0 with me, I feel like I've done my job. Same with any other girl.
12 tackles on the weekend. Do you prefer more tackles than possessions normally? I think you had 13 possessions and 12 tackles.
It was a long time between games. I had a bit of anger to put out, but I'm happy. That was one of my strengths before playing, before I did my knee, and I'm glad that I stuck it out. I put a bit of weight on in the off-season, which was a goal. I can't get any taller, so I thought I'd get a bit wider. So I'm happy about that, and I was glad to put it into my tackles on the weekend.
We're bouncing around a little bit here, but you obviously had a lot of time to think while you were sidelined. Just a bit of a random one, what do you think you'd be doing if you did have to give the game away?
Oh, God. Don't know, to be honest. I always said if I give up one spot, I'd pull up another. I'd probably do CrossFit just because I'd try and get big, because I'm quite small. But to be honest, I've got footy on my mind, and that's pretty much it for a pretty long time. I'm not giving it away anytime soon.
Was it a relief to know that you still had that ability and that you still are a marquee player, and that's why you were drafted and that sort of thing? When you got out there and you realised you still had everything going your way?
I've definitely got things to work on. Obviously, that comes with playing football. You can't learn everything just doing scratch matches out in training. But it was good to know that I'm still rated by my team, and I can go out there and do what I'm meant to do, not just go out there and just fill a spot, because I never want to do that for the team. I want to make sure that I'm a part of it and doing my role.